Hello, witches. I am High Priestess Orphaness. Thank you for joining me here live on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube because this is one of the most controversial broadcasts that I have ever streamed live, but it is a conversation that must be had. If you curse someone and they die, is that murder? If you curse someone and they die, is that murder? Can you go to trial for murdering that person if they died because of a curse you put on them? That is the most controversial conversation that we must continue to have in our community of witches, because not many high priests or high priestesses are talking about it. So go ahead and share this broadcast with a witch or two or three that may be conflicted about cursing someone because they believe that they will get it back, that curse back times 3. So let's very quickly talk about what a curse is and why witches curse people. A curse is meant to do ultimate damage. A witch curses someone because they can't take no more. A witch curses someone because they have exhausted all means to stop the abuse. When a witch curses someone, it's either to do 2 things: permanent bodily damage or to kill the person. As witches, we know that life is not sacred. Life is not good. Life is not great. As witches, we know that life is what you make it. A witch does not curse someone or a group of people for no good reason. A witch has to have a damn good reason to curse someone because you can't stop it. You can't take it back. You must have stepped on the toes of that witch one too many times, and now they have to try to take you out of the earth or make you permanently disabled. A witch does not curse someone for no good reason. But also, if a witch does curse someone, say for stepping on their shoes, that's not a good reason. A witch has to have a damn good reason to curse someone, or they will get it back. So witch may curse you if you are bothering their children. You are spreading lies about them and it is ruining their lives. A witch may curse someone if you are abusing them. Any type of abuse, physical, mentally, emotionally, sexually abusing them. And they have asked law enforcement for help, and law enforcement just brushed them off. So they said, okay, I can't get help. I can't get help from friends, family, law enforcement. So now I'm trying witchcraft. I tried killing you with kindness. Now I'm going to kill you with witchcraft. Those are good reasons to curse someone that would lead to that victim's death. Because what is a witch to do when they cannot take anymore? What can they do? What can they do? It's controversial. A lot of witches, a lot of high priests and high priestesses more experienced than myself will say, oh no, I can't curse. I don't want that coming back to me. But I just said, a witch has got to have a damn good reason to curse someone. That witch must have been pushed over the edge. That witch is more than fed up. Enough is a goddamn enough. So as a high priestess, me personally, I'm all for cursing someone that deserves it. That person has to deserve to be cursed. And let me say this also about hexes. A hex is somebody falling down the stairs. The best example I can give you, a hex is someone falling down the stairs and they break a finger. A curse is someone falling down the stairs, they break their neck, and they die at the scene. One is worse than the other one. So you have to decide, do you want to hex this person or do you want to curse this person? Because one is stronger than the other. But just like curses, a hex has to be put on a person or persons for a good reason. It has to be for a good reason. It can't be because somebody gave you a dirty look, or because somebody accidentally bumped into you on the street, or like I said before, somebody accidentally stepped in your shoes. That's not a good reason. Now, I've often said that a witch uses their spells however they want, but it has to be for a good reason. And that person, when it comes to curses, that person has had to deserve it, because you cannot take it back. You can't stop a curse once it has been released. You can't say, oh, I don't like this. I don't like what's happening to this person or person. You can't stop it. It's going to continue on until it loses its strength or just kills the person and then dissipates. So I'm going to talk about this today. 3 reasons why cursing someone and they die is not a criminal act. It is not murder. The first reason why cursing someone that leads to their death is not murder is because the court sees witchcraft as superstition. Courts rely on evidence that has been verified. You cannot verify witchcraft. Only a witch, a true, genuine witch, can verify witchcraft. Witchcraft is working with the energy found in nature to bring about real, significant, and permanently positive change. But that can mean so many different things to a witch. Real, significant, and permanently positive can mean so many different things to a witch. To a court of law with a judge, jury, lawyers to defend the defendant, it means nothing. It means nothing. Even though witchcraft is not superstition, witchcraft is real. Even though witchcraft does work, even though witchcraft is powerful, even though witchcraft does indeed bring real, significant, and permanently positive change to the witch's life and to the lives of the witch they give it to, in a court of law, witchcraft is not admissible in court. The judge will throw out the case. If you go to a judge talking about how your grandmother had a curse put on her by a witch and she died, the judge will kick you out and fine you court fees. In court, witchcraft is seen as superstitious. Courts rely on evidence, verifiable evidence. A non-witch cannot verify witchcraft. A true, genuine witch, a experienced witch, can identify witchcraft immediately. Because witchcraft to a witch does not look the same to an outsider. Witchcraft to a witch does not look the same as what the Bible lies about. It does not. It does not. At all. At all. I know some Christians who would like to see witches and high priests and high priestesses prosecuted in court, but it is never going to happen. It's not, you know what? It's not that judges don't believe that witchcraft is real, but they need evidence of it. If that judge is not a witch, he or she cannot identify witchcraft. And the judge does not want witchcraft spoken about in court because it makes the court look like a laughing stock. It makes the court look like a joke. It makes the court looks like it's not serious. It makes the court looks like a circus. It makes the court look like this is not being taken seriously. This is a waste of time. We can't prove witchcraft because nobody here that we know of is a witch. But there are some Christians and Muslims and Jews who would love for witches, myself included, to be prosecuted. Not just for cursing someone, but for doing any type of witchcraft. Love, money, prosperity, abundance. They would love us to be prosecuted because they feel like we have a unfair advantage in life because we do witchcraft. But they don't know that witchcraft requires real world action. When you put a curse on someone, it requires ill intent. When you curse someone or curse people, you have to hate that person or hate those people. You have to. When you put a curse on someone, you have to have hatred in your heart for that person. And you just keep working your rituals, working on that curse until it finds your victim and either does one or two things: permanently disable them or takes them out of the earth permanently, either to the graveyard, cemetery, or being cremated. But a witch has to have a good reason. A court of law is never going to take up a case of someone claiming, of a family member claiming that a friend or other family member was killed by a curse that a witch placed on them. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen because that's not modern times. That's not modern day. That's not how the law should work. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So that's one reason why putting a curse on someone and they die is not murder, because courts rely on evidence. The courts consider witchcraft, even though it's not, the courts consider witchcraft superstition and will not allow any evidence to be submitted as proof that your grandfather was killed because a witch put a curse on him. So number one is courts rely on evidence, not what they believe that, not because they believe that, not because the courts see witchcraft as superstition and they dismiss it. That's one reason why you cannot be prosecuted if you put a curse on someone and they die. It's because the court will just dismiss it as superstition. The second reason why a witch cannot be prosecuted for putting a curse on someone and that person dies is because curses are not physical acts like stabbing, shooting, strangling a person. A curse is with words and with supernatural intent, such as spells and rituals. And it also falls into the category of free speech. Now, free speech is under attack if you are here in my country of the United States, but it's still free speech. Free speech is still protected under the Constitution. So you can say what you want, even though I strongly oppose witches telling their enemies that they are going to put a curse on someone. But cursing someone does not usually leave physical wounds. The witch has not stabbed someone or shot someone or hung someone or beaten someone to death with their bare hands. They have used their words. They have used a spell or a ritual or chosen god or goddess or ancestor to aid their efforts, to strengthen their efforts against their enemy or enemies. When a witch curses someone, it does not usually leave a wound. Now you may be saying, well, I put a curse on someone and they die in a car accident. Is that a physical wound? Well, yeah, the person is dead and they have injuries that they could not recover from, and that's why they're dead. But it's impossible to link that to witchcraft, because the injuries a person gets when they die in a car crash is already catastrophic. So how do you determine what the cause of death was because of the car accident, or was it because of a curse? I don't know. No witch knows. All the witch knows is they wanted that person gone. They wanted that person to be deceased. And like I said earlier, a witch does not curse someone with no good reason. So if you were to prosecute a witch, take it to court, what physical evidence are you going to present? Because the witch did not shoot or stab or strangle that person or hung that person or made that person drive into a tree. You can't prove it. You cannot prove it. You cannot prove it. In a court of law, it will be thrown out as superstitious. You won't even be able to find a lawyer to present the case to a jury that has brains, a fully functional brain, that will side with you and say, yes, this person is a witch. They put a curse on someone and that person died because of the curse. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. When a witch curses someone, it does not leave physical. When a witch curses someone and that person dies, it does not leave physical wounds that make you say automatically, oh yes, that witch did this. This has a witch's signature all over it. Because you can't prove it. Because it's not going to be accepted in court. It's not. And like I said, the judge may also make you pay court fees for wasting the court's time. And it's going to be impossible to find a lawyer to say, yes, this person is a witch, a high priestess, a high priest. They put a curse on someone and that person died. You're not going to find a lawyer to help you with the case because they don't want to lose their license. It's not going to happen. When a witch curses someone, it does not leave physical wounds. A curse is not a stabbing, shooting, strangling, hanging someone, beating someone with your bare hands. It's not. It's not. It is not. So that's the number 2 reason why cursing someone is not murder, because a curse does not leave physical wounds. The third and final reason why a witch cannot be prosecuted if they put a curse on someone and that person dies is because the victim was sick anyway. The victim was dying anyway. That victim could have had a pre-existing condition such as heart disease, liver failure, heart failure, and only had a little bit of time anyway left on this planet. Their belief in the curse is what made their medical condition worse, and they died of a medical event that was catastrophic and not directly because of a curse. Now, witches will sometimes curse a person that is sick and dying anyway because they serve no purpose on this planet anyway. So for a witch to wait until you are sick, like deathly sick, that anger must have been brewing for years. You must have done something really horribly, terribly bad to that witch for them to wait years, sometimes decades, for you to become deathly sick and then release a curse on you to make your illness worse. Like I said, witches do not curse people for no good reason. You cannot prove that in court. The judge is going to say, well, didn't this person have heart disease anyway? Wasn't this person dying of heart failure anyway? So how can you say that this was a curse? Where is your proof that a witch put a curse on him and that he did not just die of natural causes, that he did not just die of heart failure or liver disease? Where is your proof? And like I said earlier, the court of law considers witchcraft, even though it is not, considers witchcraft as superstition and inadmissible as evidence in court. That's the truth. That is the truth. The person, the victim of that curse or victims of that curse, was probably dying anyway. And the witch's hatred, that anger that witch held in their heart for that person or persons, they put it in a curse and released it. And some witches will say, well, I was doing this person a favor. I sped up their death so they would no longer suffer. And I can understand that, extending mercy in their last months of life. I can understand that. I would not do that personally. I don't wait. When I curse someone, I don't wait. I just do it. I just want it over with. I don't wait for anything. Me, nah. I can't wait. I want that person away from me because, like I just said, a witch must have exhausted all avenues to get justice for themselves to curse someone. A witch does not curse someone for no good reason. If a person is already sick, you cannot say they died of a curse because you can't prove it. A witch did not give you cancer or liver disease or heart disease or make you die in your sleep. You were sick anyway. You were dying anyway. If that witch told you that they put a curse on you, it was also your belief in the curse that made your sickness worse. If a witch says, I put a curse on you, just don't accept it. Don't believe it. Don't take it into your spirit. Don't take it into your soul. Reject it. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to accept it. And anyway, I believe that if a witch does say, I put a curse on you, they don't have a good reason to. Because a real witch would never announce that they put a curse on someone. That's something you keep to yourself. And I believe that's a warning for many witches this live broadcast reaches. If you put a curse on someone, you would never tell that person, I put a curse on you. You would just let the curse do its thing. But you would not shout it from the mountaintops. You would keep it to yourself. So thank you, witches, for joining me for this live broadcast on if I put a curse on someone and they die, is that murder? Once again, the 3 things that we talked about today is the courts will see that curse as superstition and will not allow it to be presented in front of a jury. The second thing is a curse does not leave a wound like a shooting or stabbing. The third thing is the victim of the curse was sick anyway or dying anyway. So this is a big controversial topic in our community of witches, and Hecate, the queen of witches, who I am a devotee of, puts it on my heart and into my spirit to talk about this with witches so that they can make an informed decision on whether or not to curse someone. So once again, my name is High Priestess Autumn Phoenix, anointed and appointed by the Queen of Witches Hecate to be a voice for witches who have ears to hear and hands to receive Hecate's best. Thank you for joining me, and I'll speak to you witches next time. Bye, everyone.